You're watching Rurouni K95's anime review on planetary robot Danguard Ace. Hi, Ruronis. This is your pal Rurouni K95 here. Today's anime review, we get to cover a 70s anime that came out in 1977. For today's anime review is planetary robot Danguard Ace, also known as Danguard Ace, which is under the Force 5 version. Planetary Robot Danguard Ace is a Japanese science fiction anime series created by Leiji Matsumoto with Dan Kobayashi as well. Yep. This anime series was originally aired on Fuji Television Network, now known as Fuji TV. This anime series, Planetary Robot Danguard Ace, was directed by Tomoharu Katsumata, who is a Japanese film director known for his various work on anime as a leading director at the Toei Animation Studio during the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Katsumata worked as a director on several Toei Animation's anime television adaptations of the manga, like especially from Go Nagai, such as Devilman, Mazinger Z, Cutie Honey, Great Mazinger, UFO Robot, Grendizer, and Guy King, which ironically they're basically the more popular one, which both Grendizer and Guy King became later part of Jim Terry's Force 5 package on the US television. And he is also known for directing the TV adaptation of Ginga Nagaraboshi Jin in 1986. And he's also worked for other anime as a on TV series such as Captain Future, Saint Seiya OVA series like Saint Seiya Hades, and the original Fist of the North Star anime TV series as well. So, for the thing about the anime series Planetary Robot Danguard Ace, because this anime encapsulates only 56 episodes from March 6, 1977 until March 26, 1978, which is probably around the same time as the Lupin the Third 1977 anime series, aka Red Jacket, and Captain Harlock series was probably airing at the time as well. I mean, talk about 70s anime, and yet the music was composed by Shunsuke Kikuichi, who is known for his selected works on music on anime. We'll get to that in just a moment here. So, this anime only lasts about 56 episodes as well. Danguard Ace is Leiji Matsumoto's only contribution to Japanese ubiquitous giant robot genre, which is the mecha genre as well. So, Danguard Ace takes place. Let's review Danguard Ace. Let's begin. Danguard Ace takes place on a future Earth in which natural resources have been depleted. People have begun looking toward other planets to survive, in particular to the fictional 10th planet, Promete. Although people had hoped to peacefully settle here, disaster strikes as the first explorers are destroyed by betrayal. After this event, an individual named Mr. Doppler leaves toward Promete on his own ship and declares himself Chancellor of the planet. By this time, how this comes, you expect seeing what is going on in Danguard Ace. Using Promethe's resources, Chancellor Doppler constructs a vast military force greater than that of Earth's. He forbids anyone from approaching the planet under the insane belief that he's only entitled to it. Particularly where he expects seeing about what is going on in the anime series like Planetary Robot Danguard Ace as well. Yep. By this time, to gain control of Promete, the governments of Earth begin constructing massive combat robots. Doppler is able to attack and destroy all of them before they are completed, except for Danguard Ace. Above all this, the forces sent to attack Danguard's base were destroyed because of the efforts of Captain Dan. Nothing is known for this mysterious man, except that he previously served Doppler while under mind control, which is particularly what is basically brainwashing, because the character, Captain Dan, was particularly a mysterious man. He was served Doppler while he was being brainwashed expect when you see what is going on in Danguard Ace. If you ever watched the anime series, if you ever grew up in the 70s in Japan, particularly. So by this time, Takuma Ichimonji, son of the man who betrayed the initial Prometheus exploration team, becomes a cadet at Danguard's base. Ichimonji hopes that he might restore his father's honor by fighting against Doppler's forces. So that's my summary about the anime series, which is particularly Planetary Robot Danguard Ace. This was part of Jim Terry's Force 5, which is basically known as Danguard Ace in the Force 5 version. But I had to discuss about the original anime series as well. Did you notice there's initial releases for the anime The Planetary Robot Danguard Ace as well? Well, that is the question, though. Yeah. So the titular robot also had a leading role in the Marvel Comics Shogun Warriors series, as well as in the eponymous toy line. Most of the Shogun Warriors were probably like they were a series of imported Japanese toys based on several tokusatsu shows, and most of all anime, the ones that feature giant robots as well, especially. Because, Planetary Robot Danguard Ace was probably part of Jim Terry's Force 5, which is, ironically, Force 5 particularly was an American adaptation of 5 different anime television series in the United States. The series was probably shown only in New England, Pennsylvania, and Virginia as well. Come to think of it, that's how the question was. Yep. So basically, in the original version, but I had to discuss about the original version of Danguard Ace as Planetary Robot Danguard Ace, because it only has 56 episodes, unlike the Force 5 version. Because, Force 5 was directed by Jim Terry and Collins Walker. Because Force 5 is basically a 5 different anime television series which is particularly the early introduction to anime during the 80s as well. I mean, come to think of it, because in the Force 5 version, Planetary Robot Danguard Ace is originally known as Force 5 Danguard Ace, which ironically in the Force 5 version only has like 26 episodes. However, for the original Japanese version of the original anime, Planetary Robot Danguard Ace only has particularly like 56 episodes on there. Among of all this, because this is particularly how you would expect seeing that version about. Yep. So the thing about for Planetary Robot Danguard Ace, I didn't know that it was part of Force 5. Well, in the Force 5 version, it only has like 26 episodes, which is a lot when it was probably dubbed in English, when it was probably brought over to the US during the 80s, especially because it was part of the Force 5 version as well, because it was produced by Jim Terry as well. Jim Terry is the director for Force 5 as well, with the production companies with Toei Animation, with Jim Terry Productions on there, because it was been around since the 80s, which Force 5 was originally known for. Because the Force 5 version of Danguard Ace only has 26 episodes on there, which is basically a 26-episode adaptation of the original Japanese anime series Planetary Robot Danguard Ace. Because the original series, Planetary Robot Danguard Ace, is the original Japanese version, which it has only 56 episodes on there. I mean, come to think of it, because I didn't know that it was part of Force 5, which is probably during the 80s as well. Because most anime titles that came out in the 70s, that they were brought it over in the 80s to the US, especially for an mecha anime series from the 70s, such as Planetary Robot Danguard Ace, and then they adapted as a 26 episode version that is part of Force 5 as Danguard Ace, which is partly part of the Force 5 series as well. I mean, come to think of it. It was released in English 3 times, first by M&M Productions under the title The Planet Robot Danguard Ace, the title that saw limited release in Hawaii and in the Philippines, and most of all, the Philippines. The only remaining recording of this dub was a story record LP released in Japan. It was then licensed and redubbed by Jim Terry Productions as part of the Force 5 promotion, and was re-released later by combined episodes into a feature-length presentation, because this is almost like if any certain anime movie would have had, particularly these compilation movies. It wasn't like if Sin the movie was almost an hour long, or a certain anime OVA they wanted to combine OVA, they wanted to hog it as a feature film, like Armitage or Macross Plus as well. But anyways, but back to the thing about the production on Force 5 on there, version of Danguard Ace on there. It was later, the film edit was gained a cult following on Showtime during the 80s as well. And for the production on particularly Planetary Robot Danguard Ace, some of the main character designs were similar to the characters appearing in space battleship Yamato, which is known in the US market as Star Blazers. The Takuma Ichimo Onji character resembles the space battleship Yamato character Susumu Kodai. The Doctor on the show resembles Dr. Sakezo Sato from the space battleship Yamato series. Clearly Danguard Ace was written by Leiji Matsumoto, who also worked on Starzinger, which is part of Force 5 as well. But anyway, so in 2009, William Winkler Productions produced the 3 all-new English dub movie versions edited from the original series. Winkler, known for the Tekka Man, the Space Knight, wrote and produced and directed these films, which have been seen on the broadband in Japan, in the 3-volume DVD release in the United States by Shout Factory as well. And as well in Italy, however, because in the early 80s, the French dub version was released through Jacques Sanquer Productions, entitled Danguard La Quête des Planètes. However, the first volume of the 3 episodes was released only on VHS. It was released in Hong Kong and Italy in 1978, and was the first anime ever broadcast on a private channel in Italy as well. It also saw a 1986 release in both South Korea and Taiwan, which is probably obvious. Well, in Italy, Planetary Robot Danguard Ace is known as Danguard, particularly. And also, the original Japanese version of Planetary Robot Danguard Ace did got a DVD release, which has both the Italian language track and the Japanese language track on there, which is released by Yamato Video, which is probably only in Italy as well, which it has the original Japanese dub, and it only has like 56 episodes because it's basically the original version, not the Force 5 version, which Yamato Video has a lot to do for the original anime series, which is Planetary Robot Danguard Ace as well. Because in Italy, this anime did got a DVD and Blu-ray released by Yamato Video, because it has 56 episodes in both Japanese and Italian language track for this anime series, like Planetary Robot Danguard Ace as well. So that's going to be it for my anime review on Planetary Robot Danguard Ace for today's anime review. Thank you for watching, but before we go, here's my thoughts on this. When I first watched this on Tubi TV, I really loved it because this was part of the 70s mecha anime and all, because this is probably to the extent to 70s anime primary examples as well. And yet, this anime series was also available on DVD in the Italian edition by Yamato Video, which has both the the Italian and Japanese version as well. Hope subscribe for content. My anime planet link in the description down below. You can share this video on your Twitter, Facebook. If you have a Twitter, Facebook account, and all social media, be sure to give this video a thumbs up by clicking on the like button on this video. Feel free to leave in the comments section below. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, RuRoniK95. Feel free to join the channel, especially to my channel. Hit the notifications bell button. Keep it otaku for this anime review, and I got another anime review coming up next. What I got for the next one here. Stay tuned for my next anime review. I got another anime OVA, which I'll cover for tomorrow's anime review on Yukikaze. Stay tuned for my next anime review on Yukikaze, because you won't want to miss another anime review.